Welcome Unity programmers to this new lesson. In this lesson we will cover the following topics. We start with the introduction, that's what we're doing right now. Then we limit the number of bullets available to 5, and we ensure that this number is visible in the UI. We create a bullet crate with a text in world space render mode. We ensure that the bullet crate appears in the right place on the screen with the help of a script. We make the bullet crate collectible, which increases the number of bullets to 5 pieces. We end the lesson with the outro. This was the introduction. Let's quickly start the lesson. If we don't want to make the game too simple, we need to build in some things that can make the game easier or more difficult. This way we can look for the ideal level of difficulty. Not too easy so that a player loses interest, but certainly not too difficult so that a player becomes frustrated. Being able to fire bullets unlimited is one of those parts that we can tweak. Let's put an end to this. To adjust this we go to the Game Manager script. First we will adjust the bullets label so that we can adjust the value using a script. As in the previous lesson, we create a public text mesh pro UGUI variable and a public int variable. We call the text mesh pro UGUI variable bullets label and the int variable number of bullets. As in the previous lesson, we can drag the label of the canvas into the Game Manager variable of the label to connect them together. To update the value of the label, again just like in the previous lesson, we add these two variables together in the start method. We set the value of the text of the bullets label equal to the string bullets, space plus the variable number of bullets converted to a string value using the toString function. To have the label also update in real time, we copy this line in the update method. Now, we need to add another option to change the int variable number of bullets. For that we have to go to the movement script. In the fire bullet function we ensure that every time the player presses the space bar the number of bullets is reduced by 1. Inside of the body of the if statement, we place the line GameManager.instance.number of bullets minus equals 1. Let's test this out. First we drag the bullets label from the canvas to the Game Manager's bullets label variable. Then we see that the number of bullets is reduced by 1 with each bullet fired. We just haven't specified what to do if the number is 0. We can keep shooting, the only thing is that the value goes below 0. Let's go back to the Game Manager script again. In the Game Manager script we add a public bool variable called out of bullets and give it the value false. This allows you to keep track of whether you have run out of bullets or not. We will use this variable in the movement script. In the fire bullet function we use an if statement to ensure that when the number of bullet is equal to or lower than 0, the out of bullets bool gets the value true. And we create a new if statement that checks whether this bool variable is not true. Only if that is the case will the remaining code be called. We indicate by using an exclamation mark in front of the bool variable to be checked that it is not true. We copy the existing code into the body of the if statement. The fire bullet function should now be blocked if the number of bullets is less than or equal to 0. In other words, we can't fire bullets if we no longer have them. Let's test this out. After each bullet fired, the number of bullets in the label is reduced by 1. After we reach 0 bullet, I can't fire any more bullets. You can't see it, but I'm continuously pressing the space bar. It's very nice that we have now built-in limitations in the number of bullets we can fire, but that makes the game very short. We need to build in an option to refill the bullets. We will do this with a collectible item, an item that respawns occasionally and that you can pick up. In this case, this item refills the number of bullets to 5. We add a cube to the hierarchy. And we'll rename it Bullet Crate. He is the same size as the player and is in the same place, so we don't see him. We'll move him for a moment. We make it a factor of 2 larger on the x-axis. I want to place a text on the side of this crate. This is why I first add a UI canvas as a child of the bullet crate. We call this canvas Bullet Crate Canvas. In this case, we want to make the text part of the object. So, we want this to be in the world and not rendered on top of the screen. That's why we choose Render Mode, World Space. The canvas needs to be placed in the center of the crate, so we position it 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. The canvas is too big, so we have to make it a lot smaller. Let's zoom in on the canvas by selecting it using Ctrl or Command with F. And with the Rect tool we can position the boundaries of the canvas. And in the inspector we can enter the values precisely. Now that the canvas is in place, we can add the text component as a child of the canvas. The font is much too large, it should be a lot smaller. The white font is not visible on an object that is also white, so we make the font black. And we make sure that the text object is the same size as the canvas. We change the text value to ammo. We adjust the position on the z-axis so that it is at the front. And we change the alignment of the text so that it appears nicely in the middle. And we can adjust the size of the text slightly so that it appears as large as possible. Finally, we change the name of the text object to ammo text. Let's add a script to the bullet crate. We call this script Bullet Crate. Let's open this new script. We start by declaring some variables. A public game object called Bullet Crate. A public vector 3 called Size. And a mesh render called Rend. In the start method we give the variable Rend the value of the mesh renderer of the bullet crate. We discussed this in detail in an earlier lesson. Then we create a new function called getInStartPosition. In the body of this function we give the variable size the value equal to the size of the mesh render. And we create a local vector3 variable called startPosition. We give the variable startPosition value equal to a new vector3 with a value on the x-axis of half the screen width, half the width of the bullet crate, the width of the bullet crate. The crate will therefore be placed from the center of the screen half the width of the screen to the left. He moves half of the crate so that he appears against the edge of the screen. And so that it does not rest against the edge, he moves the width of the crate again. If this is too difficult to follow, you should definitely look back at a few previous lessons. I definitely recommend checking out the first 2 lessons in this series if that's the case. The position on the y-axis is half the screen height minus half the crate height. This places it exactly at the bottom of the screen. We leave the position on the z-axis equal to the transform's position on the z-axis. To keep this long statement readable, we can place each axis on a new line. It doesn't matter for the execution of the script, but it does make it a lot more readable. And then we can set the position of the transform of the bullet crate equal to the starting position, with a minus in front of it to place it at the bottom of the screen. And call the function in the start method. When we test this, the bullet crate appears on the left side of the screen at the bottom of the screen. Everything works, but we can't pick up the crate yet. To make the bullet crate collectible, we add a rigid body component. And we uncheck use gravity, so it stays in place. Let's open the script. To make an object collectible, we use OnTriggerEnter, a function that we can use because we have added a rigid body component to our crate. If all goes well, the autocomplete will be able to find the correct function and complete it for you. In the body of the function, we use an if statement to check whether the other object has a tag similar to player. If that is the case, we will destroy the bullet crate. We give the variable number of bullets a value of 5. And we change the bool variable out of bullets to false. Let's return to the editor. In order for the OnTriggerEnter function to work, we must indicate in the box collider component of the bullet crate that it is a trigger component. And we need to give the player a tag called player. This should already be in the list by default. Now we can fill our number of bullets again with a value of 5 as soon as we pick up the bullet crate. We now only have 1 crate per game. Multiple crates per game is something for the next lesson. Thanks for watching. In the next lesson, we ensure that a bullet crate appears more often to refill your bullets. Please like and subscribe, so you'll get notified if a new video is uploaded. More people will get this video in their search result when they want to learn Unity game development.